still there. Some of us have swept so much stuff under the rug. When people walk in the house, now this is metaphorically speaking, they're walking out, it's a big lump in the living room, they're walking around it. And we're thinking that they don't see it. We see it. It's a problem in your life and you need to deal with the little foxes. The stuff that you think is harmless. It's no big deal. The little sins, huh? We're so big on seeing people adultery. Oh, that's terrible. And it is. Oh, they were laundering money. That's terrible. Absolutely it is. But what about just hating people? What about just talking about people? Here's where we put it nowadays. Here's where we say, you throwing shade. Huh? Here you are. I mean, everything someone does positive, you got something negative to say. Don't you know people with that type of heart will not go into heaven? You're thinking you're going to make it into heaven without loving people? Here it is, I have a problem with you, the professor, and I'm going to go to heaven with you. What if God decided to sit me and you beside each other for all eternity? What are we going to talk about? I don't even like you. The little foxes will destroy the vine. And you say, what is the vine? What is the vine? The vine is that thing that you work so hard to try to establish. The vine is the thing that, see, you got to understand this. Here's the way Jesus put it. He said, I am the true vine, and you are the branches. The fruit is not shown on the vine. It's shown on the branches. So everything that you are to produce comes from your connection to the vine. But if the little fox destroys, if it spoils the connection to the vine, you will not be able to produce fruit. This is why your marriage does not look the way that God says it should look. Because somewhere down the line, a little fox has disconnected your marriage from the vine. This is why your personality does not reflect what the scripture says should reflect. Because somewhere down the line, a little fox has disconnected you from the vine. See, I don't mind you not talking to me because I want you to think. I want you to go home and say, you know what, God, I need to look for the little foxes in my life. Because I've allowed these little fellas just to run through my house, run through my life, and I haven't dealt with them at all. In Britain, they have a game where they chase a little fox while riding on horseback. And this will start at the top of the day. And mother, they're not just in a secluded area. This is across the entire countryside. And they will pursue this fox trying to catch it if it takes all day. The only way that they stop is either they A, catch him, or B, give up trying to pursue him. How many of us have given up concerning pursuing the little foxes in our lives? Man, all of us, look, all the Rodgers have had bad. All of us, man, we just got bad attitudes. That's just us. I just accept that. Just gave up. Man, listen, the Turners, we always been proud. That's just the way that we are. Just accept that. Man, the Clarks, we've always been lazy. That's just us. You just accept that. You just gave up on pursuing that. Who told you had to settle for that? If they know in the natural, the only thing I have to do is keep hot pursuit after this little guy, eventually I will catch him. It should be the same spiritually. But how many of us have given up on chasing down the little things in our character, in our attitudes, in our life that God has said, I did never intended for you to die with what I've already died for. The little foxes, don't ignore them, because if you do, they will mess up the entire vine. The little fox is small, he's subtle, and he appears to be harmless. Therefore, we spend so much time, watch this, praying and preparing for Satan when he enters in as a roaring lion, that we fail to equip ourselves for when he arrives as a little fox. Consider this. How do you react to the unexpected little things? You go out to start your car and it doesn't start. What words do you use? Your husband forget an appointment that you've been telling him 2 months in advance concerning, and it slips his mind. Unexpected little fox. How do you respond to that? I'm on these husbands' day. Your husbands forget your anniversary. How do you respond to the little fox? Because he's harmless. It seems no big deal, right, to go off on him. You got a reason to go off, right? What man in his right mind, will forget? You know how we do it. Come on now, There's no way, because there is no way in the world that you would ever forget anything important. I already know. So for him to forget something important, how dare him, right? But how do you respond to the little foxes? Because he's so cute. He seems so harmless. We prepare for him if he comes in like if everyone he comes in and he comes in so subtle, and we are prepared for him to come in as not a roaring lion, Jesus, as a flood. We know the Lord will raise up a standard against him, but what if he comes in as just a drop? And you just kind of letting that slide, no big deal. Oh no, if your child gets up, listen, let me talk about spanking. Spanking come in and he curse you out, that's a major problem. Major problem, you got to deal with him. But if he talks back to you when he's small, you never address it. It's cute. You have no problem with him answering you yes or no, as opposed to yes ma'am, no ma'am. The little foxes. The more we allow these things to kind of linger, the more we realize that they're coming in to disrupt what it is that God will have for us. Now, let me say this here. The little foxes, and I'm just about finished here, have a tremendous advantage over us because we do not believe that he carries much consequence. I mean, you would never think that the little fox of disrespect would ever end your 10-year marriage. Or the little fox of disregard will end your lifelong friendship or relationship. But it will. If you choose to continue to ignore them, the little foxes of inconsistency and lack of dedication will spiritually kill any church. The problem is that we display the attitude that the little fox is just a trivial thing. But we must take the approach that the fox, if we don't deal with him, is small now. It would eventually grow to be a big problem. Please don't raise your hand. How many of us are still dealing with some stuff now that we should have dealt with when we were teenagers? Some of us have problems with people that we should have addressed. Little foxes we should have gotten under control prior to us getting to where we are now. Some of us, we have issues and problems with individuals. We don't even want to see their face on social media. We see them, we scroll down to me. I don't even want to see her. You're talking crazy to the phone or to the tablet. I wish I would accept your friend request. But because we never dealt with it, that little fox will grow and become hatred if you don't watch it. That little fox, man, this is a thought-provoking fella here, isn't it? Are we on to something here? That little fox of a lack of temperance will start off with you only drinking 1 or 2, Dr. Peppers a day. Before you know it, if you don't get that under control, you'll be dealing with diabetes. I'm talking about the little fox. See, we don't like, we don't like them. That little fox of not controlling your appetite could cause you to end up in a situation where they're removing some limbs and you're blaming it on the devil. One lady stood up. I can't make this stuff up in church, and said, she's taking back everything the devil ever stole from her, starting with her figure. I said, okay. Hold on now, mother. You all don't know who she is. Well, she does, but don't you tell them either. But I said to myself, no, the devil didn't do that. Taco Bell did that. KFC. You need to blame the Colonel for that. The Colonel did that, And Mr. P's and all these other. But what happened? She never did get the little fox of eating under control. My friends, these are things that we have to address, because if we don't, they will grow to be big problems. Last but not least, the little fox is fast, he's slick, he's sneaky. And no, I'm not talking about anyone that's in here now. He's so adorable and cute. And because of his cuteness, we don't take him seriously. But remember, this is a decoy, so that we don't see how dangerous he really is. The most cunning enemy and the most dangerous one is the one that you look at and see or think that he or she is cute. Because then you drop your guard. No one can really hurt your spouse like a spouse, right? I mean, you love them with all of your heart. But that same one that you love with all your heart, because you've opened your heart up to them, can hurt you the worst. No person can hurt a parent like a child. And please don't let it be a daughter to a dad or a son to a mom. Man, you're talking about pulling heartstrings. And don't let me trickle down into the grandchildren. Come on, grandmamas. Come on, grandparents. It's like they're on a different level. I told my mama, you treat them better than what you used to treat us, man. You let them get away with stuff we couldn't dare get away with. That's because I just play with them and send them on home. They mess them up and send them back to us, right? But that same grandparent that has opened up their heart to their child, that child could damage them, can hurt them more than they could ever know. That's the way the little fox is, because he's so cute. He's so harmless. Oh, ain't no big deal. My wife and I were watching a video. They had a little girl on there. I could not believe this. To save my life. They had a little girl on there gyrating and shaking. And these are adults. When I say little girl, I'm talking about Emily's age. Gyrating and shaking. And they had adults throwing dollars at her. I couldn't believe that. A little fox is cute now. What happens once they grow up with that mentality? Because it seems so cute, we let it slide. Walk past your child's room, They got some type of old music playing. I shot the duck and the hen and all this old stuff, right? And that's no big deal. It's just music. Up until they start trying to live out the lyrics. We have to, as parents, take the little fox seriously, because his cuteness will cause you to think that he is harmless, but that's to get in. My little boy, and we're praying after this, my little boy has a way with his mama, boy. Mother, he can get her. She can be just as mad as she wants to be. But if he stops and does this, So you're going to disregard the fact that you've been calling him for the last 15 minutes and he's stumped off and been laying all on the ground kicking just because he gets up and does, then, That's the way the little fox is. Regardless of the havoc that he has caused in our lives, regardless of what it is that he has come in and has turned upside down, because he can blow a kiss at you. Because he can cause you to look at it and say, well, it really ain't all that harmless. It calls you that fervency, that drive to stop him and to catch him, because all of that will just kind of subside, and you'll say, well, it really ain't all that bad. Keep this in mind. The little fox is out to destroy you. You understand that? Everything that the enemy orchestrates, Jesus has already told you. 3 things he's trying to do: steal, kill, and to destroy you. That's it. If you know that I am your enemy, why would you let me in your house? I'm your enemy. You walk me all through your house, showing me all of your possessions, Show me where you keep the diamonds, Show me the combination to the safe and all this, and you know I'm your enemy. That doesn't make, in the words of the professor, that doesn't make bird sense, does it? But we do the same thing spiritually with the devil. When you think it's just you and him and you're doing your thing and don't nobody from the church see you? You sure? Let me quote my mother. Now I got to pray. I got to cut this off. I only wanted you for 30 minutes. I'm right at 30 minutes. My mother said it like this here. She said, I refuse to do anything where I would share a secret with the devil. Let that sink in. What's in your life that you will hide from the church? Let that sink in. What are you doing that you would be shamed if someone from the church saw you? What are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you hanging out with? That if we walked in, if Mikhail just coming over just to see you, and you're in the middle of doing whatever it is that you're doing, if it's something that you are ashamed for someone from the church who represents Christ to see you doing it, I would drive this home. I said all of that to drive this home. You were sharing a secret with the devil. I'm going to tell you something about him. He only wants to steal, kill, and destroy. He is not going to keep your secret. He is much better at exposing than he is at concealing. Man, this man here went in and even snitched on Job for doing good. Yeah, the only reason that he is a blessing you is because you did this, did that, did this. That man trying to expose, which lets you know that even when he says something good, the intentions are still bad. The intentions are not pure. So I want to put something on your mind. What do I want you to do spiritually? What do I want you to do, Mama? What do I want us to do when we go home? I want you to get your fox traps out in your life. Go through your life mentally. Think about all of the little foxes that you've allowed to get away. The stuff that you know you should have dealt with a long time ago. Even in your children, the stuff that you just let, no big deal. For you, oh, that's no problem. He'll grow out of it. No, he will not grow out of it. He's going to grow into it. And he'll be developed into something that you cannot control. And man, I want to pray for us. If you know that this message is spoken unto you,